Hello. Oh my God. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back. Um, welcome back to another CreamCatCorner stream. Sorry. First of all, I want to say sorry for not being able to stream. The last two stream, I was not able to stream, and I want to apologize for that. And second of all, I am late today because yeah, a lot of things happen and it's way out of my control, the reason I am late today. So, why did I not um stream? Okay, so the reason why I didn't stream is because first my internet died and I have to fix it. And second of all, I just recovered from a very high fever. My temperature was like 38.5 to 39. It is very high. Basically, my body breaks down. It's like when you have a car and you push it to your limit, push the car to its limit, and its temperature starts to rise, right? Yeah, that's what happens to me. Yeah. So the last time I streamed was I played the Silent Age, right? And that stream was around 5 hours. And then afterwards, the following day, I only had like what, 2 hours of sleep. 2 hours of sleep, and then I had work. I had work I need to do. Um, and basically I'm just pushing myself to finish my work. And then the following day I still I still have compounded work that I still didn't finish on Monday itself. So I had to finish it up late in Monday night and continue on until early Tuesday morning. So that time I also didn't get enough rest. I think I got around three hours of sleep. During the day I got around 30 minutes of nap, which is not a lot. And then my internet died on Monday evening, and then I have to figure out a way to fix it on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. I had to figure out a way to fix it. Turns out my router is I don't know what happened. I need to do a full reset on my router. It's a lot. It's a lot actually. And then on Wednesday, I started to feel that my body is acting up. I thought, it's just a normal headache, something like that. And come Thursday, my temperature was so high that I didn't get um enough work to do. So yeah, my body simply refused to do anything, and I am truly sorry for that. And oh man, because of the internet and all that, I also didn't have time to check my Discord. I am so sorry about that. Oh man. Um, yeah, but that's basically what happens during my time. But okay. Um, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go on with the game right now. Actually, I wanted to check something. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, man. Once you get sick, man, the work compounded for you is, and I am still trying to stay ahead of myself, but yeah, work is never ending, guys. Work is never ending. But yeah, maybe in the future, I'm gonna change my, I think, let me open back this one. I am thinking of cutting the Wednesday evening and the Thursday morning time slot because I am literally busy and I had no time to do my work, and I thought I had enough time for me to squeeze into this, but turns out I didn't have enough time. So I might cut off this time slot. I'm I'm still I feel like I'm gonna stream on this time slot, Thursday 2 p.m. 4 p.m. for Eastern Daylight Time, or Friday 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. for UTC plus 8. And as always, the Saturday and Sunday are my free time. Not it's not much of a free time, but I might start a little bit late. Uh, but yeah, oh man, Whew. Things I didn't expect things to escalate this this bad. But I'll try my best to do stuff as smoothly as possible, but no promises. Enough about that. Let's get into the game. Oh, okay. We are in. I already forgot what happened in this game. So the last time we played this game was we finished the puzzle for let me think about the tree guardian, right? Also, if you notice that I am a little bit not as energetic as before, bear in mind I am still recovering from a high fever. So yeah. Hello, Vigor. Hello, hello. Welcome back. How are you? Oh, a path back to the grassland just across the river. Oh no, you too? You are having a bad time too? Oh no. I hope you're doing okay. I'm guessing it's everyone is having a rough time nowadays, huh? If you don't mind, are you able to share it with me, or are you prefer not to share it? Ooh, entrance first floor. An inky beige liquid. Is that ink? You will share? Okay. After being let out of the wildwood, the little cartographer arrived at a strange building hidden amongst the trees. It's me! She followed her curiosity inside and picked up the first book she saw. That's me! Just then, the story tender entered. Oh my god, it's the guy from Up. Ah, there's that darn book I've been looking for everywhere. It's a good one, eh? I was thoroughly riveted. Couldn't put it down. And then when I did, I forgot where I put it. Ghost lilies, bear hugs, parting sheep. What an adventure. Well, clearly you had a good taste. Welcome to the Story Chalet. We're not easy to find. You must have a nose for knowledge. I am the story tender, and I took care of our rather unique library. You'll find lots to love here, and our stories are always changing. In fact, they've been changing rather quickly of late. I was just in the middle of sorting some books, but in these old bones could use a break. Let me show you how things work around here. And this is the dessert desert wing, desert wing of the chalet. Not to be confused with the dessert wing, which is sadly still under construction. Like I mentioned, each wing contains stories related to a specific areas of the world. I recently started reading a good one in this very room. It was about an old lady searching for her grandmother in the desert. I know, right? What a good premise. When I left off, the granny was getting a bit exhausted. I can see you're excited about learning. Oh, to be curious, young mine again. Well, off you go then. Have at these books. I'll be in the writing room. Just let me know if I can be of any assistance. Okay, Vigor. So yesterday you got sick. Oh no. Which you expected, cause you walked in the rain at Monday for 20 minutes. So you got a cold yesterday, and because you had allergies at the same time, your throat was burning. Oof. And you had a headache, and at night you got a fever. Today you got a bit better, but you have a small headache, and your nose bleeded hours ago. Oh shoot. Oh no. Well, you're almost the same as me then. I also got sick, and that's why I didn't stream for the last two time slot. Oh man, I hope you're doing much better. Yeah, the world hates us. Oh no. Yeah, my work is piled up and I had to finish it. I need to finish it and I still haven't caught up to my work. Um have you I hope there's someone that is looking after you, Vigor. I know how tough it is. Oh man, to be sick and alone, that is very very scary, especially since if you are the type that gets very weak when they are sick. You have your parents, nice. Okay, at least you have some people that can take a look after you. Well, you are better today, just a small headache. Oh, nice, nice. I had a very high fever myself. My temperature is around 38.5 to 39, so which is very high. The last time I had that high of sorry about that. The last time I had a fever that high was because of me having uh food poisoning, which is odd, but I'm not surprised because your gut microbiome is very much affected by your overall health. But night was scary because you couldn't sleep at all because of your throat and your parents were asleep. So yeah, it was a bit scary and you couldn't stand because you were shivering because I you were almost puke. Okay. Ooh, that was scary, huh? Um, I'm guessing your tonsils are inflamed. You slept this morning though, so you are okay. Nice. Yeah, getting sick is not fun. Oh man, you're lucky. You're lucky you are able to sleep. Whenever I got sick, especially since I can tolerate fever, but not this high of a fever. Usually my fever is around in the low end of 38 degrees Celsius. But once it reach the higher end of 38, and that's when I know things might be rough. Getting sick plus allergies isn't fun. Oh, all right. I forgot about your allergies. Dang, no wonder your throat is hella inflamed. Do you take any not inflammation? And do you take any sort of allergy medicine? I personally, yes, I do have allergy. Um, I usually take desloratadine. That's the active ingredient, but I'm not sure. But there's a different brand name for desloratadine. You have hot tea medicine that your father had, and allergy medicine for your nose that the doctor gives you, and you have some candies for your throat to smooth it. Oh, nice. And you ate soup today. Oh, okay. At least you still have your appetite. That is good. That is very necessary for you to recover. By the way, what are you allergic to? Is it dust or is it pollen or is it pet dander? But you ate soup while your parent and brother ate pizza. Oh no. Okay. I'm guessing eh, it's better than not eating at all, right? The desert could be a harsh place and was home to a resilient nomadic people. The shifting sands were a way of life, often confounding the flora and fauna. To be honest, you had no idea from what your allergy came from, but it might be pollen, but you don't know. Interesting. Yeah, for me, it's believe it or not, I'm not allergic per se, but anytime I had a bright flash of light flashing in front of my eyes, or whenever I just woke up and there's a very bright light shining into my eyes, I will sneeze. Sometimes you can see it or listen to me sneezing because of a bright light whenever I stream early in the morning. Because usually when I woke up, um, I open up my light, and then I, without a doubt, will sneeze. Oh God, I think it is called achoo. Believe it or not, the symptom is called achoo, ACHOO, autosomal dominant compelling ophthalmic outburst. Achoo. You have that too, or when you walk under the sun for 5 to 10 minutes, you sneeze loudly. It is. I thought that one and that kind of thing is not as common, but apparently I'm wrong. It is very common. I know a few people that are that had that kind of symptoms. Um, I am also allergic to dust. Whenever I have to clean up my house or my room, something like that, I do have to wear a mask, a respirator mask, respirat, respirat. respirator, respirator. Otherwise, I would sneeze hell like hell. Yeah, I would sneeze like hell. And usually, before I do any kind of cleaning, I had to take some allergy pills in order to prevent some serious allergic reaction. Funny enough, I think I've mentioned this before. Um, my dad is allergic to a bee sting. Fortunately, I don't have. At least I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't think I have one. But I do have allergic to. No. I want to say shellfish, but it's been a while since I had allergic to it. My sister, on the other hand, yes, she is allergic to um certain kind of shellfish. Yeah, it is. Thankfully, my allergy um outbreak. I want to say outbreak. Is that the right word? I'm not even sure. My allergy period is not that long, especially since I take allergy pills. Usually they subside quite 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 immediately, not immediately, around 30 to 1 hour after I took it. That was so before you get born. Oh, your mom is allergic to a fruit. You don't know how it's called in English, and she learned it the hard way. She ate it years ago, not knowing she had this allergy, and she almost died. Oh shoot, that was before you were born. Can you describe the fruit? I might know. Is it star fruit? I know some people are um cannot cannot eat star fruit because there are certain compounds in it that are not suitable for people, especially people with kidney problem. At least that's what I know. I might be wrong. don't don't quote on me like on that. And within the tumult, a wizened woman searching for her grandmother. They had been separated by a storm and yearned to be together. It's a hairy fruit from the outside and green on the inside, and it's really sour. Is it a kiwi? Hairy fruit from the outside. Oh, it is a kiwi. Uh-huh. Interesting. That's the first time I've heard of someone allergic to kiwi. Interesting. A hairy fruit from the outside and green on the inside, and it's really sour. Yep, that's a kiwi. Speaking of allergic, it's not for me. It's not an allergy per se, but whenever I eat papaya, I always have diarrhea. I don't know why. It's something that my body is always reacting like that. My mother cannot eat. Not it's not like she cannot eat oranges, but she has the same problem as me, but with oranges. Whenever she eat oranges, even a few slices of oranges, she would get a diarrhea. Interesting. Our body is very interesting. There was sand as far as the eye could see. It was inescapable between your sheets. and on your skin, in your sandwiches. When the sandstorms were at their most fierce, whole camps would be buried. Routes leading back to the grassland and other neighboring regions would disappear. This path, these paths could be found again by intrepid adventurers or at times unwitting wanderers. No. When you eat cheese pie with chocolate milk in the morning, you go to the toilet in the next minute. Not diarrhea, just go once, but like almost immediately. Interesting enough, yeah. Some people, especially at least for me, I cannot eat dairy in the morning. Any kind of dairy, I cannot eat it in the morning. I don't know. I would always be nauseous, and I most definitely have to be seasick. You heard you have heard and found so many things about the last time you saw me. Ah, care to share? Uh, Welcome to the writing room. This is where all of our stories are created, although I can't tell you how. It's not a secret, I just don't know. No one does. That thingamajig over there just churns them out and has been for as long as anyone can remember. For example, you saw a few videos where someone says some mind-blowing thoughts. Okay. If you like to know where about sorry. If you'd like to know more about the story chalet, this is the room for it. I keep some of my other favorites here too. Deep in the forest, in an unmemorable corner, sits the story chalet. This peculiar building can be tricky to find when you are looking for it, but easy to stumble across when you aren't. It houses a remarkable library of books overseen and catalogued by a story tender. These mysterious tomes are endlessly updated by an unseen hand, documenting stories and cultures around the world. The building itself is an architectural marvel with a deceptively simple facade that obscures its more sophisticated interior. Interesting. For example, uh I should say your username, huh? Otherwise, people that are watching this on YouTube are gonna be so confused. So Vigor said that, for example, dude, the biggest lie you ever heard is your mother saying she won't get mad if you say the truth. Ho ho ho! Yes, yes, that is true. That is the biggest lie. I promise I won't get mad at you. Womp 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 womp. Pow. Turns out that is kind of true. She's ouch. Okay, she's not mad at you. She's extra mad at you. uh, when the soap falls on the ground, is the floor clean or is the soap dirty? Okay, I know this. The soap is dirty if you don't clean it with water. That's why if your soap is um fallen onto the ground, you pick it up and then you wash it until a few layers of the soap is gone, and then you store it properly. The floor is never cleaned unless you meticulously clean it with some cleaning agent. Which orange comes first, the color or the fruit? The fruit, I guess, because I think citrus comes first, right before language comes. Oh man, I'm not even sure right now. But For me, according to my knowledge and my logic, I would guess the fruit come first. Then people want to describe, oh, look for the orange colored thing. Whenever people are foraging for something, look for the orange thing, and then the word stuck. I don't know. And something similar. Are oranges named orange because oranges are orange, or is orange called orange because oranges are orange? Uh, um, uh, I'm guessing, yeah. I think I've said it previously. I think it's because oranges are orange. The first statement is true. Oranges are named orange because oranges are orange. Much easier because we are animals first and foremost before we even notice languages. Also, this sentences has orange 8 times and it makes sense. Yes, because everything in that sentence, in that statement makes sense. But I am still able to discern between the two statements. Oranges are named orange because oranges are orange. Why deliveries in a shape called cargo, but in a car they are called shipment? I don't know. Languages, huh? We should have someone that is a language expert that explain about that. I'm not sure about that actually. Deliveries in a ship called cargo, but in a car they are called shipment. Interesting. I never thought about it like that. If you eat 99 pounds, if you are 99 pounds and you eat 1 pound of nacho, does that mean you are 1% nacho? Yes, you are correct. If you can eat it that fast. But here's the thing, that 1% of nacho, unless you can eat it very quickly, then it's not gonna make any difference because your body digests quite quickly, and basically that percentage of nacho becoming less and less as time goes by. But in essence, yes, you are 1% nacho. There are people serve an essential function to chart the land, noting any changes and shifts over time immemorial. They travel by airship, quietly observing from high above, rarely disturbing the people below. Their navigation skills were peerless, passed down through the collective memory of their ancestors. Simply, they were cartographer by trade and by blood. Interesting, interesting. The gathering of magic boots. The grasslanders found endless ways of improving their life through clever application of plants. Using an amalgam of different rubber plants, they created a new type of footwear. These magic boots could be stretched to fit any size foot and raise the running speed of its wearers. The last known pair awaits someone bold enough to sport them. Ooh, somewhere in the grassland wing of basement 2 of the Story Chalet. Interesting, interesting. Why is it? Interesting. Bigger. If you are living in the Wait, what? If you are in the living room and you just passed out, did you die or you just knocked out? You just got knocked out. Um, I'm not sure how to answer that because I'm don't understand much. Okay, if I am in a living room and you passed out, did you die or you just get knocked out? I guess knocked out? I'm not even sure. Popular grassland, something like that. Good night, sleepy sheepy. Sympathy for red devils. Gangas. I knew it. Ganga style. Ballad of the sour potato. Begonia Bob. Monkar's mournful melody. Hey there, Dahlia. Nice. Vigor. Why is a pizza box a square and if the pizza is a circle and the slice is a triangle? Because they are very inclusive of all shape. uh I mean, who wants a square pizza, right? Square pizza has less I don't know. It's hard to share a square pizza. I mean, if you are in a large party, I do have experience with square pizza. Whenever you are in a very large party, yeah, at least the pizza place in my area or in my country to be exact, they cut the pizza into small squares. We don't have that if you are in a large party, but if you are having a personal pizza, yes, they are in triangle shapes. Nomads of the grassland. Nomads by nature, the people of the grassland typically migrate once a generation. They travel to barren lands, bearing seeds and ancient irrigation techniques. The grasslanders are deeply attuned to the flora, listening to the voice of the earth, coaxing its growth through song. By the time the next generation migrates, the land they leave behind is a fertile paradise. I'm not even sure what am I supposed to do here, but interesting. If I stab a cereal box, am I a serial killer? Badoom dish. I guess I am a serial killer, huh? If I stab a cereal box. Oh, 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 okay. I know what to do. Um, this one. Read it again. Yes. The grasslanders found endless ways of improving their life through clever application of plant. Blah blah blah. New type of footwear. These magic boots could be stretched. Blah blah blah. The last known pair awaits someone bold enough to sport them. Somewhere in the grassland wing of basement two. What? Grassland wing of basement two of the story chalet. Basement two. Okay, this sentence is really weird. Am I reading it right? Somewhere in the grassland wing of basement 2 of the Sari Chalet. Okay, so this is basement 1. So I'm guessing I need to do this, this, this. Oh, nope. Interesting. Okay, is it like this? Okay. Entrance. Uh, second floor. What? Okay, like this. Basement 1. Am I an idiot? Grassland. Is it basement 1? Okay. Something something basement. Basement 2. Okay. Oh. Come on, come on. I'm so confused right now. Ah. Oh God. Okay. Neil Armstrong is the first person to go to the moon. Neil A. backward is alien. I do know about that. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there that says that. Okay, I am confused. Okay, so interesting. Okay, so this is basement 1, basement 2. Oh wait. Basement 2. Oh, I get it. So this is basement 2. Yes. It only took me some few brain cells. There it is. Whoa, I am very quick. Ooh. Nice boots. I didn't notice them when you first arrived. They look like they can get you whenever you need to go. Okay, I get it. Now I just need to go here. Then go out. With her fancy new boots, the little cartographer knew that nothing could stop her. She would head out to cross the river and find her way to the desert, where she hoped her grandmother await. Let's go! Oh! Interesting. Trail to grassland. Return to the grassland? No. Oh, okay, so we can go back. Okay, let's go. This Ganga? Welcome back, little wood sprite. We were worried when you disappeared. Did you happen to see the ghost lily? What do you mean, Carto? You just give the ghost lily to that dude. Oh well, I figured I'd ask. Monkar will be sad to hear it. I think he was still holding out hope. But everyone will be glad to have you back. Though I know that look in your eye. Are you on your own secret mission now? You're looking for somewhere sandy? I don't know of such a place, but sometimes Mo the shepherd arrive home covered in sand. Uh-huh. Maybe Mo knows where Mo goes? You should know. He should be with his sheep. No road ahead. Ah, I remember this place. I am quite confused. Mo! Is this Mo? I'm guessing it is. Yeah, let me just do some modification on the map. Yeah, like that. That. Okay, like that. Okay, okay. Hmm. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Okay, interesting. Let's go. Tomb is pronounced as tomb, womb is pronounced as womb, but bomb is pronounced as what it does, which is boom. Interesting, interesting. Welcome back. I'm glad to see you're safe. Perhaps you can regale the students with your travels sometimes? The ghost lily went to the afterlife. I want to be an adventurer like you. Did you find any cool plants? We'll learn about the Penta Poppy. Bah. And there are the ones that you remember. Those are some interesting facts you have, Vigor. I never thought about that. The tomb is pronounced as tomb. Interesting. Then then again, English is such a weird language. Yeah, some people do have trouble learning English because of that. Mo? Mo. Oh man, are you asleep again? Wah! My sheep! Have you seen my sheep? Wait, all of my sheep are here. Why did you wake me up? Where do I get Sandy? Don't tell my dad, but I don't know. Sometimes I just woke up that way. Maybe I can show you when I'm asleep. I'm wide awake now, but there are probably some plants that can knock me out. But I'm no plant expert. Oh my god, you want some plants that can help you fall asleep, huh? Is it this plant? Teachers always knows best. Whatever, dude. Whatever. Gone ghost lily hunting. Lily hunting. Ghost lily hunting. There must be something. Hearty hearth. Also, Vigor, your friend made a Hollow Knight joke. Want to hear it? Yes. Always interested to to hear about some jokes. Interesting. You're certainly making good time in them, but you must be tired from running around so much. Children, what plans can we use to help our friends sleep soundly tonight? I know, pick me, pick me. It's not a competition, everyone can answer. I think each of the children has something to tell you. When you gather the plant, put them inside the spot. Interesting. Dozing daisies. They slowly nod and make everyone around them tired. There are a bunch planted near the circle road. Interesting. Plumbus stalk. Its stem have a gentle fragrance that makes everyone sleepy. It grows in the center of a field of yellow leaves. Enter. Whisper grass. When the wind blows through it, it sounds like a bunch of people go shh. I saw some at the mouth of the river. Okay, interesting. Okay, Vigor. The joke is Cream. I hate verbs in English. I dance. Points at Hornet. You dance. Points at Markov. He dance. Why? Is he dancing more than me? I don't think so. All citizens of Hollowness dance, but Markov dances. How much is this motherfucker dances? Okay, okay. Is Markov the one with the shield? So are you referring to the shield dancing? Oh, okay. I get it, I get it. Oh shoot. What is this? Hello? Interesting. Because he is dances instead of dancing. Okay. Got it. I got it. Okay, we at least got one. Now we just need to get this one. Oh, nice. Should be around here. And I already forgot which. Whoop. Which one that I had left? Oh. Okay, let's take remove this. Move this. Move this. Whoop. Yeah, and then let's see the children again, because I already forgot. Children, tell me again. Shh, you found it. Okay, this kid smells like a butt to me. Gross. Okay, this kid. You can't find the dozing daisies? Yo, hello, Just Night BG. It's been a while, huh? Hello, hello. How are you? You're fine? Well, I'm so glad you're doing fine. As for me, funny enough, I am just recovered from a very high fever, so I'm a little bit Not at my peak, to be honest. Also, you found an AI that compares two characters from either imagination or series and stuff and says who would win in a 1v1 battle vigor. Ooh, interesting. Just Night BG. What is this game? This game is called Carto. You play as this little girl, I want to say. You control the map. So let's say I am moving like this, right? It's a puzzle game where you can change how the map works. So basically, you are in control of the map. So yeah, let me show a few examples, I guess. Like like this. Okay, see, this is a puzzle that I just solved. So should be around here. Yeah, there it is. So our quest right now is to find our grandmother, which we um, got separated from our airship. Uh, it's 20 euro. This game, or is it something else? I'm guessing you are talking about this game, right? This game is 20 euro. Yeah, I got this game at a sale. I forgot which one. But yeah, the forager is created by these people. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I never knew that they were made by the same people. I thought they were released by the same publisher, but I didn't realize they were by the same people. That okay, interesting. Is it by the same publisher or by the same creator? Interesting, interesting. I didn't realize that. But yeah, for me, I love some savings, and I got this game at a discount. What's the difference? The publisher is the one that published the game, so different games can be released by the same publisher, but not every game by that publisher is made by the same people. So for this game, the developer is made by this game is made by Sunhead Games. Interesting. I'm just looking at the Forager. Okay, so they are made by the different developer. For Forager, it is made by Hopfrog developer, but they are published by the same publisher. So they are both humble games. Interesting. Humble Game Adventures. Yeah. So they are that is by the same publisher. So that bundle that you are talking about um is produced by the Humble Game bundle. So yeah, I guess it's um because of the same publisher they decided to bundle these games. But yeah, for me, if you are interested in buying this game and you are not capable of buying it full price, I'm suggesting you guys to wait until a sale. At least that's what I did. I think most of the game that I bought is through sale. To be honest, I love me some savings. But yeah, this game is very charming. I love the art style. It is really, I don't know, it is very different than the game that I played. So this type of game really struck me as interesting. Oh, you have a link? What does that link do? Bigger, sorry, no, just not BG. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, Vigor. Let me read about that. Both of you guys' name are blue, and I got confused. Sorry about that. Okay. Thank you for the link, Just Night BG. I might have a look at that. Okay, Vigor, if I want, we could compare many characters. You pick one characters and you pick one another, and we see who would win. You you will be picking characters from Dragon Ball, Hollow Knights, and other games we both know, and you pick other characters from your imagination or from role plays. You do it with your friends. Ooh, interesting. Oh my god. Oh my god, Nero. Welcome to the stream. Uh, you definitely know how to make yourself blue. Well, you really blew it from me, huh? Um, interesting. Maybe we can try it at the end of the stream, Vigor. Is that okay? Oh, you're red now. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes when there are a lot of people with the same color, I got confused. Um, oh, you're green. Okay, nice. Everyone is different color. You are green. If you are still here by the end of the stream, okay, we'll see how it is. Oh god, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna mute for a bit. Oh my god. Whew. Um, just like BG, you recently bought a PS5 and you really like the game there. Ooh. What game do you like in PS5? Just like BG. Vigor, let me guess, the sun. What do you mean by that? I'm not. Are you comparing characters? I'm not even sure what game is really. I sneeze because of the sun, right? Oh no no. Because of my PC, my monitor screen is quite bright. So the bright light is really it trigger my sneezing reaction. It is night currently. It's 10 p.m. for me. Ooh, Uncharted, God of War, Hogwarts Legacy. Ooh, interesting, interesting. Have you played Resident Evil 4 remake? I heard a lot of people are raving about that game. I personally haven't played any of the Resident Evil games, to be honest. I've always wanted to play one. I've watched people play Resident Evil 2 remake, and it looks very fun. Too much blood, you didn't like it. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, different people. I guess different people have preferences. But isn't God of War had some gore in it, or am I misremembering stuff? I thought God of War is quite extreme. It has some, but not that much. I see. Yeah. I guess that's fair, considering Resident Evil is about zombies, where you have to shoot zombies, and they are very juicy, juicy, juicy zombies. I see, I see. I personally haven't played that much. In fact, I've never played Resident Evil, any Resident Evil. So I don't know what kind of gore I had I would expect from that game. Uh, I'm I'm trying to think what other games that are quite popular on PS5. Yeah, I'm not sure. The only game that I've heard is the one that you said, Hogwarts Legacy, Uncharted. I've heard a lot of things about Uncharted. Mainly because the graphics are really nice. God of War, of course. I think there's a new God of War, right? Did you play the new one or the first one? Personally, I don't know. There's a lot. I've I'm I'm not able to buy another console for now because I don't play console game that much. You like Control too? Oh my god, Sackboy is trash. You played both God of War. Okay, okay, okay. I have Control on my PC, but my PC is not able to run it. So maybe in the future when I upgrade my PC, I might place Control on stream. Oh man, I wanted to play that game. It's been a few years now. I've since I had that game, and I only able to play that game until I reach the object of power, which is the gun. And even then, my PC is struggling. But visual wise, and the mechanic of that game is top tier. If you had the chance to play Control, I would suggest play it. It's really fun. I just wish I can play it till the end. You played both Spider-Man games. Ooh. Yeah, Spider-Man is also one of those games that I wanted to play because it is an open world game, right? Yeah, always interested to play that game. You are now playing Terraria while watching. Ooh. Hopefully you are doing much better than me and not be frustrated. But I'm guessing you are much more experienced in that game than me, right? Bigger. It's really good. Um, uh, you don't like that game very much? Oh, interesting. You don't like Control? How so? Yeah. I've tried playing Terraria before on stream, right? And I got so overwhelmed by the game. Meaning that there's a lot of things that you need to do in that game, and it doesn't provide any sort of objective. And basically, for my brain, that is something that my brain cannot handle. It's too, it's too much for me, basically. Um, oh, you are talking about Terraria. Oh, okay. Now you like playing Valorant. Oh, right. Speaking of Valorant, right? Uh, this is becoming a just chatting stream, huh? Um, uh, Valorant. I am thinking about um playing Overwatch. I recently uncover my stash of controllers, and I recently found my PlayStation navigation control, and basically I'm trying to play that game, Overwatch, I mean, using that navigation control and a mouse. Weirdly enough, I've used to play a lot of Overwatch using that setup. Man, I'm okay. People, I'm not sure this is widespread knowledge or not, but if you are controlling your character, basically like this little girl here, having a joystick for movement is really nice. Okay, since you are able to move in any direction, and my fingers is very wide. My fingers are very wide, and sometimes I misclick my keyboard keys, and I could not count how many times I've clicked the wrong WASD buttons for movement, and instead I click Q. And in Overwatch, Q is the ultimate. So yeah, I wasted some ultimate. But with controller, I am basically able to move without that kind of hindrance, basically. Oh god, okay, what? Uh, Very white. Um, Explain yourself, just not BG. Very white, what does that mean? Just not BG. Yeah, misclicking an ultimate is terrible. Oh gosh, I feel bad, especially since when I played Overwatch, I played a lot of I played a lot of Symmetra and also Orisa, and sometimes um when whenever you play Orisa, for example, and if you click Q, you are wasting a bongo, which um which made you lose team fights, so it's not fun. But ever since I had the PlayStation Move controller, it is very fun because, yeah, as I said before, I am able to move my character independently without having the chance to misclick a button. So yeah, I just found the controller again. So I'm interested to play that game again. Also the way that they release a new support hero, Life Weaver, that character looks interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to play that game again, even though I might be bad at it. So I thought, why not? Why not I learn that game again on stream for everyone to judge? Just see how much I suck at that game. Okay, what am I supposed to do here? Okay, I need to go and see this dude. Oh man, I am running on off a tangent. Okay. The council of viewers shall judge my epic gamer skill. It's not that epic, trust me. Flowers for me and the sheep. Yawn, how thoughtful. More flowers, you're really spoiling us. I'm getting a bit sleepy. Um, hello? Whoop. Oh, also, has anyone played the Yakuza game? That is also one of the games that I wanted to play, but I haven't had the chance to play it yet. Oh, Yakuza is very much games that I would play when I was a kid, but since when I was a kid, I didn't have the time, not the time, I didn't have the opportunity to buy that game. Oh my god. Oh, he is sleepwalking. Oh, hello. Would you like some more tea, Penelope? Okay, interesting. Yeah, Yakuza is one of those beat 'em up game. From what little gameplay I've seen on the Steam page, it looks very fun. But I'm not sure if my PC is able to run it or not. Because I don't know, the requirement for it to run on my PC is quite high. So yeah, it is, I don't know. It might be a little bit too strong for my PC to handle. Oop, but we'll see how it is. Hello? What a rat lady! A camel! Such steadfast mounts, our boys. They are able to conserve water in their bodies, the clever things. It makes them too heavy to cross the yellow sand, but it's helpful to have extra water around just in case. It's a good thing we found these cacti when we did. Cacti? Also, okay, another tangent. Do not, do not drink any cactus juice, okay? No matter how you hear about the myth of if you are desperate to drink in a desert, you could cut some cactus and drink the juices inside of it. Don't. Simple as that. Don't. Because cactus is it follows a different set of photosynthesis, and the water, the fluids that is inside the cactus is sometimes not safe for human consumption. It might be a little bit, I want to say poisonous, but it's not. It's not poisonous, but it's not safe for human consumption in a large amount. You must be parched, young sister. I wish we had more to offer to you. We are down to our last few cacti, and Granny Nua is looking a bit worse for wear. I'm fine. Yes, yes, of course you are. We were barely able to set up this camp in time before the sandstorms rolled in. The rest of our unit headed west, across the yellow sand. Are you familiar with our desert? Be careful in the yellow sand. They are ever shifting, and the landscape around you can change in a heartbeat. Okay, the white sands around us are calm. You can always use them to find our back. to find your way back. I can't read. I can't read. Okay, so we have two pieces. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, interesting. And let's explore. Oh no! Hello? Oh, it's a puzzle. Okay, let's see if I can remember how to do this puzzle. Am I am I doing something right here? I'm not even sure. Um Oh, okay. So I am right. Whew. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So let's explore. What is this? What is this? Follow the footprints in the yellow sand. Make sure they connect. Captain. Interesting, interesting. A tightly locked chest with a series of numbers scrawled on it. 90 minus 180, 270 minus 270, and 90. Hmm, interesting, interesting. Some unusable vessels. A long abandoned tent. Watch out for scorpions. A crumbling relic from a bygone era. Interesting, interesting. I'm not sure what am I supposed to do here. Follow the footprints in the yellow sand. Make sure they connect. I don't see a footprint. Do you guys see a footprint? Oh, there it is. Make sure they connect. Uh-oh. Make sure they connect. Did? Okay, they connect. Okay, nice. Okay, okay, okay. Nice. Okay. Whew. At least my tiny brain is working overtime right now. Oh gosh. God. Keep pressing the wrong button. Okay, let's see what kind of what kind of things happen in here. It used to be such a picturesque oasis. I would shed a tear, but I need to conserve liquid. Interesting. Our captain went missing a few weeks ago during an especially strong sandstorm. She's the best water seeker we have. I'm sure she can survive on her own, but it's been so long. Granny Noah must be so worried about her. Ooh, cool lady. Hello, little sister. You have the blood of a water seeker in you. I can tell. Not everyone can read the desert so well. We lost track of Captain Samala, but we will find her. Just as just as we'll find some waters soon. We seekers use all of our senses to locate water. We inspect the appearances of the plants, sense the movement of the animals, and the density of the air. Clues are everywhere. Okay, interesting. What about you, Mr. Camel? What a dramatic dromedary. What? What is that? Ouch, what a terrible idea. What an even worse idea. Oh, okay, we got a coconut. Why do you keep touching them? I don't know. Okay, let's see. New pieces. Oh shoot. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have ever-changing desert. Okay, so we have cactuses. Interesting, interesting. More cactuses. Oh, 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 okay, I get it, I get it. Is it correct? Okay, so this one is in this corner. This one is also in the corner. Okay, okay, I get it. Yes, yes. Now, which one is... Okay, this one. Let's move this to this corner. Okay, nice, nice. Oh, am I stuck? I found some strange ruins, sisters. I'll meet you in the middle of them. I know I'm close to the heaven, Captain. A noble camel chewing on a long, ornate silken scarf. Oh no! Did she get eaten by the camel? Dang, okay. I found some strange ruins, sister. I'll meet you in the middle of them. I know I'm close to the heaven. What do you mean by that? I'm not even sure. Oh, 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 okay, okay. What? What's up with that sound? Oh, 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 okay, okay. I get it. I get it. Where's the safe again? This one. This must be a reason for it, right? 90. Okay. Mm, I need to take some pictures of this, otherwise I'm quite useless. My brain cannot retain this information for long. Okay, 90 clockwise, anti-clockwise twice. Okay, okay. Um, 90 degrees, right? So 1, so 180 to anti-clockwise, 1, 2, and then 170, which means triple time clockwise, 1, 2, 3, and then backward anti-clockwise 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then 90 degrees. Yes, yes. Oh my god, I'm so smart. Oh my god. Okay, hmm, interesting, interesting. You better believe I'm sharp as a cactus, but my body feels like an ancient temple these days. Sandy and full of skeletons. That's what I feel. Enjoy it while it lasts. Beautiful, isn't she? This golden desert of ours. Curves as far as the eye can see. We used to have a lush oasis all to ourselves, but it dried right up. We've been searching for another water source ever since. If you brave the yellow sands, keep heading west to find the rest of our sisters. If you do, please tell them we haven't seen the captain yet. She's a strong woman, but this sort of thirst can break even the strongest of us. Interesting, interesting. Okay, but now I'm a little bit lost. Shoot. Oh, 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 okay. I get it. I get it. So this is the clue. I found some strange ruins. I'll meet you in the middle of them. So I need to figure out where in the hell is the middle one. Okay, let's see which one. Okay, so this is the edge. Let me put it somewhere like that. Uh, like this. Okay, so I am correct. Hmm. Okay, what about this? Something something here. Okay, so that is that. Okay, okay, come on. Should be. Nope. Hmm, interesting. In the middle, huh? In the middle. Um, I'm not even sure. This one here. This one here. This one here. Nope. No, why do they keep changing? Okay, there must be something that I am doing wrong. Oh no, I'm stuck. Oh shoot. Oh no, I'm stuck. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, I get it. So I shouldn't go anywhere that has this kind of stuff. So I only have this three piece of map to help guide me. Okay, okay. We'll see how it is. Am I missing something? Hello? I feel like I'm doing the right thing, but um hmm. Okay, okay. Let me consult this. Some strange ruins. I'll meet you in the middle of them. I know I am close to the heaven. Feels like I'm missing a map piece, but where? Because currently I only have three. God, okay. I'm gonna explore for a bit. Hmm. Okay, so that doesn't help us. Who's in the yellow sand? Captain might have left a message. Gosh, okay. I'm not even sure what am I supposed to do here. Have we have we explored this place down here? I feel like we already have done that. Oh my god, okay. Okay. This puzzle this time around is wrecking my brain a little bit. Hello? Secret piece? What? Interesting, interesting. I never thought there's a secret puzzle. Ah, interesting, interesting. You've learned nothing about this plant. Stop touching it. I can't stop touching plant. Okay, I feel like I'm missing something here. So from this tree piece of map that has the map ruin pieces, am I an idiot? I feel like I'm an idiot for not getting this. Come on. I mean, almost. But what? Hmm. Hmm. The only way I could think of is by using... Oh my god, it is... I thought I already did that. Oh my god. Oh my god. I see it. Through the sand. So hazy. Built up from earth. Full stones. Wrapped around water. Deep below. And somewhere beyond. The heaven. Oasis. A map. I see it. I'm so thirsty. Interesting. Oh, come on. I keep pressing the wrong button. Okay, okay. Uh, this is a new place, right? Ooh, a well. Well, 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 what do we have here? A rugged well, missing a rope, form its pulley. Some fresh water glints in the sun deep below. Interesting. Where can I find you? Give me that scarf. Nice. Oh, yes. That coconut. Yes. A broken bucket. Oh my god, is it changing again? Oh, you need water, sis. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Ah, thank you for saving me, sweet sister. I almost made it to the haven, but I lost my unit along the way. Please give me a moment to contact them. With haste, my friend. Huh? Ah, apologies. I was sending a message via Sand Beetle. They are a great tool for communication. We mark our position on their shell and they burrow towards the footstep of others. They shed their shell every few days so it doesn't bother them. You must be very brave and resilient to have found me here. Did you pass my sisters along the way, may I ask? Huh? I'm so relieved. I knew they would be fine, but I wasn't sure how far my clues would get them. If I'm right, this is indeed the gate to the desert heaven. But to open it, I need a special artifact. Our tribe hath passed it down through generations, knowing it would show us the way when we truly needed it. I believe that time has come. At least I was what? How do you pronounce that word? Harangued? Harangued by a group of sand rogues and one abscond with the artifact. While we wait for my sisters, could you please have a look around for them? Wow, you are really sending this little kid uh, to go find the sand bandits, huh? Interesting. If you find one, remember they are fast to catch unless you can distract them somehow. One stole a bracelet right off my wrist once. Those wily devils are attracted to shiny things. The sand rooks should be in the yellow sand. Use something shiny to lure one out. If you don't have anything shiny, you can probably find something in the abandoned camp. You have to go in like 20 minutes or so. Okay. Um you know what? Yeah, let's do it. I can pause the game, right? Yeah, I can. Uh how does this work, by the way? So I have to choose a character from either from Hollow Knight, Dragon Balls, or what is it, the other one you said? Um, and other games. Okay, Hollow Knight. I wanna say Cloth. Cloth from Hollow Knight. Okay, yep, Cloth. I'm interested to see how you use your the artificial intelligence. You will say Princess Brittany from a series of one of your friends. Ooh, Princess Brittany. Oh man, it's almost 11, huh? 10:40. Okay, now what shall the arena be? Arena. I only know one arena, which is the Mantis Lord Arena. Is that okay? Okay, while you are writing the stuff to the AI, I can keep playing. Okay, interesting. Okay. I'm not sure what am I supposed to do here. I'm guessing in the yellow sand, something fast, 10 rogues. Oh, but how? Uh-huh. Ah, I see. You are setting the trap. Ah! Oh my god. The poor little dude. A dizzy rat with a fluffy tummy. Oh no! Kind of soft and very sandy. Meh. But something strange amongst its fur. A piece of the map. Interesting, interesting. An ancient lens. Some scratches on the surface, but clearly a precious artifact. Am I supposed to do something here? I not understand. What am I supposed to do here? I'm guessing I need to go see the captain. Hello? Wow. Wow. Did you see that band of sand rogues scurrying by? They make my skin crawl. Who knew the desert would be full of rats? Don't we have snakes for that? Interesting. Aha! Don't think I made it, did ya, kiddo? I still got some pizzazz. Or whatever the kids are calling it. And I wasn't going to let my only granddaughter go thirsty. She may be my captain, but I love her just the same. There's some ancient writing on that gate. Almost as ancient as me. It says something about the light. Hey, we made it. That gate, it's incredible. Centuries of weathering and yet still it stands. But what do those symbols mean? Is the heaven really beyond that gate? How exciting. Where's your other friend? Hello? Thing. Hmm. The artifact. You found it. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. You are truly a miracle, sister. Now, if I'm right, we just have to put this artifact in place like this. Be careful, sister. Ooh. Ooh. My eyes! My eyes! Okay, then what? The artifact is set, so what's the final step? Are you asking me? I'm not even sure. Is it me? Oh. What? Yeah, sure, Vigor. Fire away. While I figure out a way to solve this puzzle? Question mark. I'll read your message in a bit. Is it like this? Please tell me I'm right. Oh my god, I am right. I am right. Oh, snap. Okay. Ooh, okay, that is a very long wall of text. Okay. Cloth is a skilled warrior with a powerful weapon, but can also become easily afraid in battle. Okay, that is really Cloth. On the other hand, Princess Brittany is a skilled spider with the ability to petrify her enemies and move around quickly, but her teleportation has a long cooldown. In the Mental Slot arena, Cloth would have an advantage due to her combat experience and the fact that the arena favors close range combat, which is where Cloth excels. However, if Princess Brittany can keep her distance and use her petrification ability effectively, she could potentially win the fight. Oh. So, what I'm guessing is that Princess Brittany might win if she clings to the wall of the Mantis Lord arena. Interesting, interesting. That's a very interesting AI you have there, Vigor. Um, did you specifically say Cloth from Hollow Knight game? Because I'm interested to know how much context the AI had. But okay, let me see. Oh, oh, yes. Oh my God, yes. You go specifically. Oh, I understand. Ooh, a cutscene. Ooh, everyone is having some water. Nice. Drink up, sisters. Drink up. Okay, see a powerful character from Dragon Ball. Oh gosh. Okay. Um. Um. Uh. Oh gosh. The only character that I know specifically is Vegeta. Is Vegeta good? I'm not even sure. I'm gonna go with Vegeta this time. Even though he is not the most powerful character. I know of Goku, but I don't know. Bear in mind, it's been quite some time since I watched Dragon Balls. I know of Goku, I know Vegeta, I know Son Goku, I know Frieza. That's it. I know Gohan, but that's it. Vegeta it is, yes. I guess our drinking water is also a camel bath? I'm just going to not think too hard about that. Yay, water! Oh my god, the camels are having a spa day in the oasis. Grandma! Water at last. I'm grateful to you, kiddo. You helped me track down my granddaughter, the captain, and then help her find the heaven. You are an honorary water seeker as far as I'm concerned. Oh my god. Into the catacomb. Do you feel that earthquake? It could only have come from the volcano. There must be a major eruption brewing to feel it all the way around here. There's no rest for the wicked, I'll tell ya. Out of the frying pan and into the lava. You will go with Horazi, a character from Legends of Runeterra card game. Ooh, interesting. Yes, Nero, it is Secret Stairs. I always knew the heaven was out there, but it still feels surreal to be here. We couldn't have done it without you. As soon as we track down some more beetles, I'll send messages out to the rest of our tribe to join us. Being interesting. So let's go to the next area. The elders whispered of the secret tunnels beneath the heaven. Through mine, though mine, you might not find your way back once you enter. Oh no. So does that mean this is the end? You know what? Yeah, let's go. Yeah. No turning back, huh? Oh. Oh, hello. Oh, this ship. Shannon. Shannon. I remember Shannon. She must be nearby. Shannon. Oh, hello. Hello, hello. Oh, so this is the place. I get it. I get it. So this is the place to the forest. This is the storyteller. Trail to grassland. Interesting. So I'm guessing I need to go back into the house? I don't know. Shannon! Carto! Oh no. What happened to you, Shannon? I was so worried when you didn't show up at our meeting spot, but it sounds like you've been busy. The storyteller told me you dropped by here on your way to the desert. Did you find any clues about your granny there? Ah, I'm sorry. I'm sure it's just a matter of time. I bet she's looking just as hard for you. Oh, her face! Ah, you felt the ground shaking too? I thought it's just my lunch disagreeing with me until some books fell off the shelf. The volcano must be acting up again. The eruptions are quite a sight to behold. The sky darkens with thick black smoke and orange embers drift through it like snowflakes. That smoke might make the sky harder for your granny to navigate, Carto. I wonder if you can warn her somehow. I bet it's worth a try. Great. I bet we can find some clues in the volcano wing. I'll meet you there. Volcano wing, huh? Such impatience. I'm sad to say the volcano wing has been missing for some time. The chalet can be a bit unpredictable. Sometimes the rooms are what you expect, and sometimes they go missing. If only I could visit the top floor again someday. Hmm? Ah, please ignore me. Just a wistful yearning of an old man. Anyway, I can't be of much help in locating the volcano wing, but I can usually find what I'm looking for if I read enough books. No better place to start. The little cartographer had come up dry looking for her granny in the desert. But she had other burning issues to deal with. Get it? Burning issues? In volcano? Ooh. Oh, what the arena should be. Uh, I'm not sure, Vigor. I'm not very familiar with the setting in Dragon Balls. So surprise me. Face from Dragon Balls. Oh, okay, okay. I'm yeah, I'm not really familiar with the setting from Dragon Balls. I want to say the training range for I don't know. I'm not even sure what I'm talking about. How could she warn her granny about the volcano that was about to erupt? And before that, she had to figure out how to get there. So I'm guessing we need to go to the top floor, right? Entrance, first floor. Second floor. Oh, okay. Second floor, let's go up. Third floor. The Gathering of Magic Boots. Hmm. Floor. Horror story of the chalet. That chalet is cursed, I'll tell you. While exploring its labyrinthine halls, I came across a floor sign bearing no number but an ominous question mark instead. I ran to the stairwell in a panic, only to discover that the floors above and below it were equally unmarked. I saw rooms I've never seen before on these unknown floors and fled with terror from the shock. I will never return to that unholy place. Interesting. Okay. So I'm guessing since we are third floor. Hmm. Okay, this is a head scratcher for me. Ooh, the water seekers. The water seekers were highly revered in their tribe, being responsible for the survival of their people. This resolute group would seek out new water sources, often journeying far from home. Their senses were highly attuned to the desert environment around them to aid them in their search. Once the new water sources were located, their tribe would migrate to join them, camels and all. Okay, interesting. Hmm, so perhaps one of our books can help you locate our missing volcano wing? Okay, but I'm not sure what kind of book that I'm looking for. So I'm guessing this one? Yes. The chalet is cursed. Exploring its labyrinthine halls, came across a floor sign bearing no numbers but an ominous question mark instead. Uh, Unknown floors, friend and terror, blah blah blah. Oh, okay. Both combatants possess incredible powers and abilities. Vegeta, being a Saiyan, has access to a variety of powerful techniques, including the ability to transform into multiple Super Saiyan forms, each increasing his strength and speed significantly. He is also extremely skilled in hand-to-hand combat and can harness powerful energy blasts such as the Gallic Gun and Final Flash. On the other hand, Horazi is a Darkin, a powerful and immortal being with incredible physical strength, speed, and agility. She can also use her Darkin Lodestone to shoot electric projectiles and perform an attack called the electric line, which can electrocute her enemies with 5,000 volts of electricity. Additionally, her shield is strong enough to withstand even a Super Saiyan what? Super Saiyan 3's Kamehameha. Therefore, Horazi could easily win Vegeta with a few risks. Oh, okay. Apparently, Vegeta is not as strong as I thought he would be. But Horazi is, based on the AI description, is very powerful, huh? Never noticed that. Actually, even Goku would lose against Horazi. Oh, interesting. Okay. I feel like I'm not doing anything. I thought we were supposed to go to the top floor. Am I not going to the what thing? My what? I what? Oh gosh, okay. The ones from Dragon Balls that you feel have a chance of winning against Horazi are Vegito, Goku and Vegeta, Fusion, Future Trunks, any god of destruction, and or any angels. Oh, thing. Yeah, then again, I'm not very familiar with the cast of Dragon Ball Z and its power level. So yeah, I'm quite surprised that it's gonna take a fusion character to beat Horazi. But then again, she has what do you call again? A shield strong enough to withstand Super Saiyan's Kamehameha. So that is a very, very powerful ability to have. Want tell me about all characters from Dragon Balls that you know? Sure, fire away. While I figure out a way to do this puzzle, I'm quite confused as to what am I supposed to do. Okay, I already read this. Am I missing something? That chalet is cursed. Exploring its labyrinthine halls, came across a floor sign bearing no numbers but an ominous question mark instead. I ran into the stairwell in a panic, only to discover that the floor above and below it were equally unmarked. I saw rooms I had never seen before in these unknown floors and fled in terror from the shocked. Above and below. So, either one of this, huh? Question mark floors. Am I missing something? Oh. Nero, where are we going? I'm not sure, but from what I understand, the guy on this floor, the entrance, said that we need to go to the top floor, but now he says that based on this book in this library, it says that I need to go to a place where there is no floor numbers. The chalet is cursed. Labyrinthine wall, you came across a floor sign bearing no numbers but an ominous question mark instead. You ran to the stairwell in a panic, only to discover that the floor above and below it were equally unmarked. You saw rooms that you've never seen before, but these unknown floors on these unknown floors and fled in terror from the shock. I will never return to that unholy place. So yeah, I'm quite confused as to what happened. In order to get unknown floor, I need to remove this room and detach it, and it become an unknown floor. Okay, let me do something. Uh, so room above and below, right? One of the. Oh, hello. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Ah, how is it? What? I don't understand. I really don't. But whatever, at least there's progress. Progress is progress, right? Oh, okay. Oh, that's a long list of names, huh? Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, Bulma, Mai, Chi-Chi, Gohan, Goten, Zamasu, Goku Black, Vegito, Gogeta, Piccolo. Oh my god, how can I forget about Piccolo? Frieza, Colt, Broly, Fusion, Zamasu, Whis, Vados, Beerus, Chamba, Grunt, Minister, Xeno, Jiren, Topo, Dispo, Android 17, 18, and 19, Keba, Liquir, Caulifla, Kale, Kefla, Shenron. You don't remember all of the gods of destruction and angels. Nice. The only reason why I remember Dragon Ball Z's character is the name is um, influenced by vegetables name. We have Gohan. Gohan is rice. Vegeta is short for vegetables. I see cauliflower and kale, cabbage. Interesting. Okay, let's see. Chirp, the 256 Watcher. Many years before Chirp became the 256th Watcher, Chirp was a small, beardless chirp. But Chirp did not make friends easily and would spend many afternoons exploring the woods by Chirp's self. One fateful afternoon, Chirp followed a sad hooting noise and found an owlet stuck in an animal trap. Chirp freed the owlet and disassembled the trap, turning it into a stretcher to carry the owlet in until it is healed. Chirp and Chirp's owl companion were never apart after that day and now tend to mother together. Aw, that's nice. Roots. Mother's root stretched across the forest as she grew and far beyond. They grew along hidden paths and shaking their way to distant lands across the world. These paths were subtle and obscure to all the most intrepid explorers. Only the trees knew how to access them, and they didn't speak much. Nope, I don't want to read it. Lampa, the 255th Watcher. Bearing an earthworm companion and a great big bushy beard, Lampa the Messenger was chosen as the 255th Watcher. Lampa and his earthworm patrolled the wildwood for decades, steadfast friends and protectors of mothers. Sadly, an errant sparrow snatched the earthworm from his shoulder, leaving him alone with the trees for the remainder of his watch. Aw, that's sad. Through this day, though to this day, the countless progeny of Lampa's earthworm friend crawl beneath our feet, hungry for dirt and ready to help. I think we do have, yeah, we do have this, but I'm not sure if it's Lampa's earthworm or not. Interesting. Okay, so let's go to the volcano menu. Okay, Shannon, how did you manage to reach here? Oh my god. Oh my god. You had a nosebleed again? Figure? Oh no. I hope I hope you are elevating your head and always um hydrate yourself, okay? Don't forget to hydrate yourself. Volcano calendar. Volcanologists are divided on the accuracy of scientific basis of volcano calendar. Proponents of the calendar claim that it's been an invaluable planning resource for countless generations, while detractors dismiss it as a bunch of meaningless nonsense carved on a wall by some vagabond. In any case, residents of the volcano always seem to avoid disaster somehow, whether or not they are expecting it. Interesting. Shannon, I just. Okay. I had just about given up on finding the volcano wing when it appeared out of the nowhere. This is such a strange building. Anyways, I think I found something helpful in this book. Have a look. The volcano is a popular tourist destination due to its temperate weather and world-famous spa. Travelers can take the long way up, ascending its face over the course of several days, or hope to catch a ride on a friendly member of its thriving mountain goat population. Did I read the characters? Yes, I did. I always I also made the connection of Dragon Ball's character having inspiration from vegetables name, faba, kale, cauliflower, and the like. Though the fastest, most reliable paths up the volcano lie deep within the forest, for those who can find them. It sounds like you can get to the volcano through the forest. If there's a path, I know you'll find it. No one is better at finding their way through the world. Oh, you'd like me to go with you? Shannon, you better come. I worried that I would just slow you down. I hate to split up again, but you find your way around so quickly and time may be of the essence. So hurry along without me, and in the meantime, I'll do some research for us here. Interesting. Shannon? Sure. I'm not gonna be streaming for long because after I reach the forest area, I am planning to end the stream, which is quite soon actually. So yeah, if you are able to, just shoot it in the chat and I'll read it and then I'll end the stream. How about that? Oh, which character you want me to tell you? Um, let's start with I haven't heard about Chamba and the Grand Minister, especially Grand Minister. I haven't heard about that character. The little cartographer. The little cartographer knew where to go next. She found her way to the volcano through a path hidden somewhere in the forest. She bid her friend goodbye once more and headed back to the wildwood. Nothing was going to keep her from her granny. Okay, interesting, interesting. So let's go back to the forest. Bigger has been given the stream ending ability. Actually, yeah, it is 11:20 where I am, and I do need to wake up at like 4 a.m. 4 a.m. So that is like what 12 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of sleep. So yeah, I need some rest, especially since I am still recovering from a high fever. So yeah. Oh, I always love the way the trees are moving away from us. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, let's talk to this little guy. A boon to see you, the finest navigator of these woods I've known. We are in need of your skills. We can't seem to find Chirp, I mean, the new Watcher. I'm not sure I'll ever get used to saying that. Nip and his vulture are getting a bird's eye view from one of the biggest tree. Maybe they've seen something interesting? I'm always interested to see. Oh my god. Hoot hoot. The ghost lilies. A medium-sized tree whose leaves have a strange yet familiar glow. Okay. Grand Minister is basically the father of all the angels and serves Zeno. Oh, interesting, interesting. So Zeno is what? Oh my god, I'm not very familiar with Dragon Ball Z characters. I'm sure if I watch the characters design, I might know who is strong. Sorry, who is who. But based on name, yeah, I'm not very familiar with it. Zeno is the strongest entity in reality. Oh, okay. Is he? I'm guessing it's a he. Is he one of the gods? Zeno is the strongest ability. Every time Beerus and Whis sees Zeno, they always get afraid. Oh, I see. Zeno is beyond God. Oh, oh. So is Zeno a good or bad guy? Or is he truly neutral because everything is beneath him? is good. In the episode with Infinite Zamasu, yes, I do remember that. He literally erased the whole future timeline. Oh, okay, okay, I see. At least he's good. Okay, I see. So at least the forces of good still have um, um, an advantage over the forces of evil. Um, okay. Um, I think that's gonna be it for me. Thank you so much to Vigor for giving me all of this interesting Dragon Ball Z facts. Thank you to Nero too, Nero Stranger, for accompanying in the chat, for helping me indirectly, helping me solving the puzzles. Um, Thank you to JustNet BG for dropping by. I really do appreciate it. Um, I guess that's it. That's it for me for today. Um, yeah, I'm not I'm not sure if let me just do this. Yeah, I'm not sure next week. I'm gonna stream on the Thursday or Wednesday evening time slot on Eastern Daylight Time, or Thursday morning UTC plus 8. I might have to change that because I am quite busy this couple of weeks. Coming weeks, I'm gonna be quite busy. I'm not even sure if I'm able to even stream on Friday, but we'll see how it goes. Um, yeah, but I am gonna stream tomorrow again. What game? Um, I'm not sure actually. I really don't. But I'll think of a way sooner or later. But yeah, wish for my speedy recovery, and hopefully I didn't fall sick again. Um, yeah, I wish everyone is having a better time than me, especially for you, Vigor. Take care of yourself, okay? Drink lots of fluids, and I hope everyone is gonna be better soon. And I guess that's it. That's it for me today. For today, I'm gonna sign off for today, and I'll see you in the next stream. Goodbye.